Hello everyone, welcome to this YouTube tutorial where you are going to learn that how to use this easy bookkeeping by the Mode Studio. So if you have just bought this or you are just checking it out, this video is for you. So let's get started. When you will buy this tracker, you will find a zip file. First thing you have to do is to unzip that file and you would find out three files inside that file. One would be a PDF containing Google Sheets link. One would be a PDF containing the instructions to how to use this tracker. And the third file would be for Microsoft Excel. When you would buy this tracker, this would look like this. Because you would have no data entered here, so it would exactly look like this. But for this video, I have entered some sample data. If I talk about the compatibility of this tracker works perfectly for Google Sheets and for the Microsoft Excel 365 and the latest versions of Microsoft Excel. So if you're using the older versions of Excel, you can see some errors. So it means that your Excel version is outdated. So in that case, you would always have a Google Sheet as a backup, which is exactly free to use, and you just have Google account to use Google Sheets. Another important rule is that in this tracker, you just have to write in the white cells. So if you see any colored or shaded cells, I would recommend just not to touch them because they might contain some formulas that can disturb the working of your tracker. For example, if I just go here and try to remove this, you will see a warning pops up here. So just click cancel. This is to prevent you from accidental changes. Now let's start with the setup tab. This is the control center of the entire tracker. You should always complete this section before entering any data. In transactions tab, first you would see a currency here. So just enter the symbol for your currency. For example, I am just entering here the dollar sign. Then we have start date. This is very important because it controls your entire 5-year dashboard automatically. For example, I just write here 1st of January 2026, and you would see that all the names of months are written here. You can set up to 30 income categories and 30 expense categories. For example, in income categories, you can say sales, YouTube, and for example, I write here workshops. And in expense categories, you can write supplies, packing material, your shopping, your equipment, your rent, or your any fees or taxes, anything you want to track. And in this part, you will set your monthly profit goals. For example, for the month of June, I write here $3,000. And for the month of July, my profit goal is $2,500 due to some seasonality. Okay, in this part, you can write your notes as well. Next, we have income tab. In income tab, each row is one income. And here you would see three columns: date, income category, amount, and notes. Let me show you an example by just entering one income. For example, I just select today's date and the category is rental income. These categories are pulled up from setup tab, and the amount maybe is $300. That's it, you just logged one income. Next we have expenses tab, which works exactly like the income tab, but you will enter your expenses here. And the columns here we have exactly same: the date, expense category, amount, and notes, which is optional. Let me just enter one expense here as well. Let's select today's date. For example, the category was fee and the amount is $50. That's it, you just logged one expense. Next we have monthly dashboard tab. The monthly overview tab gives you a snapshot of your business for any month. You can select your month from this top section. For example, I just select January and the year is 2026. Okay, you might wonder that why you are seeing only these 5 years. Because we have entered 1st of January as start date in setup tab, so the tracker will automatically show the next 5 years including 2026 in this drop down. Okay, by selecting 2026, you can see that where your business stand. For example, the total income that you earned is $10,500 while your expenses were $3,200, so the profit is $7,300. And next you can see that you didn't hit your profit goal, but you achieved 60.8% of your goal that you set in your setup tab, because the goal was $12,000 but your profit is $7,300. Okay, in this graph you can see the total income versus total expenses, and in this table you can see the top 10 income sources, the which we can see that the salary is on the highest, and this graph takes data from the table below. And similarly, these are the top 10 expense sources, which we can see that our packing material are taking a lot of our money. Similarly, if I want to change the month to maybe June, okay, here the top income source is our sales and the top expense category is marketing. Okay, and here again we are not achieving our profit goal. Next we have annual dashboard tab. It looks like this. So let's just select 2026 and boom, your whole tab changes instantly. Here you would see that where your business stands for the complete year of 2026. So the total income you generated in 2026 was 35,526 and the total expenses were 24,000. Okay, and you had a profit of 11,000, but the profit goal was a bit higher, which is 36,000, but you achieved 30% of the profit goal progress, which you can see in this pie chart. Okay, this chart again shows the total income and total expenses, while this income growth chart shows the income trend across the year. And you can see that we had the highest income in January and July, while in April we had zero income. Okay, by scrolling down, you would see a complete monthly summary of your expenses, income, profit, and margin for the year of 2026. This chart shows the profit across months, which is that in April we were in a great loss, while in July our business was in profit. Okay. Below here in this chart, you can see the income versus expenses and the profit. So this trend line is for profit, while the green columns show income and the light red column shows expenses. But also remember one thing, that you can see your progress for other years only when you have entered data for those years. Because I have entered some sample data for 2028, so I can exactly see that what is happening here. And if I just select 2029 from here, you can see that our profit is above our profit goal. Okay, next we have 5 years dashboard. Here you don't have to write any date because the 5-year dashboard shows your business performance across 5 years automatically based on your start date. You will see total income, total expenses, profit, and profit goal across the 5 years. The total income versus the total expenses and the profit goal progress. In this table, you can see the 5 years breakdown of your income, expenses, and profit, while this is the profit goal summary. This income growth chart shows the trend of your income, and this chart simply compares your income, expenses, and profit across the 5 years. Scrolling down, you will see a complete 5-year income and expense overview per category wise. So you would see here all the names of category, and the amount for different year here. Okay, next you have comparison dashboard tab. This is one of the most powerful features. You can compare three different periods. For example, this year versus last year and the upcoming year, and quarter 1 versus quarter 2 versus quarter 3, or any custom dates. So just enter start date and end date, and the dashboard will show you income, expenses, profit, and profit margin. Let me just select three dates here. I think I should select first three quarters of 2026. So I would select 1st of January, and the end date would be March 31. The next we would have April 1st, and the end date would be 30th of June. While for the third period, I would select here 1st of July and 30th of September. Okay, although there is written that select one year period, second year period, so just don't get confused by it, and you can select any of the date. Now you can see that for April, we were in loss, while in July our business was in profit. In the top summary bars, you would see the total income, total expense, and the profit margin. And this would show the first KPI will show the best period of the three periods. And you can see that the third quarter performed very well. These two pie charts shows the income and expense breakdown, that from which sources your most of the money is coming and to which categories your most money is going. And this is the trend of your income. This is the comparison overview. This table shows the comparison overview. And you can also, for first quarter we had 55% margin, and for the third quarter we had 94% margin, which is great. And it shows the total income and the total expenses for the selected period. And these two tables shows the income and expense breakdown in detail, category wise. So that is how you use a simple business bookkeeping tracker. Let's quickly recap. Set up everything in the setup tab, log your income in income, and log your expenses in expenses tab, and use insights to grow your business. So if you stay consistent with this, you will always know where your money is going, how much profit you're making, and how your business is growing. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and comment if you have any question. Thanks for watching.